Harper Audio presents The King's List by Peter Ransley, read by Gordon Griffin. Prologue. August 1659. On a bright summer day, I rode alone from London to Oxford, getting fresh horses by showing the ring that told the world I was Sir Thomas Stonehouse, Second Secretary of State, and a mix of other titles and honours. These, not to put too fine a point on it, meant I was, or had been, Oliver Cromwell's spymaster. Cromwell had been dead for 18 months. His son Richard had succeeded him, but had nowhere near the iron grip of his father on the country. Outside London, Oliver Cromwell's spectre still hung over the country. Some people could not believe he was dead. Others said his spirit had been seen at the great battlefields of Marston Moor and Naseby. Few wanted to rekindle the war, except members of the Sealed Knot, Royalists who believed the executed king had died a martyr. They wanted revenge and the return of the king's son, who had done little for his country, except sire 15 bastards, at my spy's latest count. Some in the Sealed Knot were sincere. Most wanted their lands and power back. My son Luke was sincere. When my steward Skogman told me Luke was a member of the Sealed Knot, my first instinct was to confront him. Not about being a Royalist, for he scarcely made that a secret, but about joining a hopeless, ramshackle conspiracy like the Knot. I dismissed this approach. Luke would not believe me. It would make things worse between us, and they were bad enough. I determined to let him find out for himself. The Knot leaked like a sieve. Simultaneous uprisings were planned in the north, the West Country, and even in East Anglia, Cromwell's old heartland. Luke was part of a group planning to take over an armoury in Oxford. I could have told him who would let him down: the county gentlemen who would promise money which would not be paid, or troops who would not arrive. Instead, I would let him find out for himself. He would be arrested. Skogman would see he was not charged or jailed, but brought back straight to me. It would be a salutary lesson, better than any I could give him. He would be contrite, realizing how false his friends were, how hopeless the Royalist cause was. England would never see a king on the throne again, least of all the self-proclaimed Charles II, who begged his way from one European court to another. I would be magnanimous. Because of the war, I had rarely seen Luke as a child. This would bring us closer together, giving me the father-son relationship I'd always wanted. So I imagined, until the rebellion grew closer and Skogman set out for Oxford. He wore bucket boots and a jump jacket of oiled leather, and carried an old-fashioned broadsword and a pistol. I not only felt a flood of nostalgia for the war, but the weapons brought me to my senses with a jolt. Years at my desk had given me the mind of a planner, not a soldier. I began to think like a soldier again, and a soldier, unlike a politician, knew that nothing went according to plan. My intelligence might be wrong. It could be a full-scale rebellion. Luke might be killed. When I reached High Point, my estate in Oxfordshire, I learned the intelligence was right. One of the leading Royalists in the county, Sir Simon Barber, had been bought with land he had lost during the war. The others would not move a finger without him. From information Barber gave us, some were arrested. "Including Luke?" I said with relief. Skogman shook his head. Luke had disappeared. From that moment, the plan I had carefully constructed to bring my son to his senses, and the two of us closer together, fell to pieces. Although the uprising was a dismal failure everywhere else, Sir George Booth, an excellent soldier and well-liked in his county, managed to raise 4,000 men and hold Cheshire and part of Lancashire for several weeks. This inspired Luke and a group of hotheads to try to take over an armoury. It was a foolhardy project, the sort Cromwell used to dismiss with contempt as going for glory, not results. Scarcely more than boys, they were too
Sample complete. Ready to continue?